So we're sponsored by Hot Pockets this week. Hot Pockets, they're a thing you probably want more of. Much like video games at E3.
Yes.
So let's talk about this.
They're way better than that thing you just described, the sandwich made of the badges.
Hey,
yes.
Don't you knock the E3 s'more. It's a time-honored tradition. And you have to go to the hospital after you eat one. Anyway,
not a tradition.
So there are a lot of games out there. You know, we get new games, we get sequels, we get stuff, but there are all these franchises that are just sitting there and we're like, where are they? We want them. So let's talk about some of those and become a little bit angry in the process. First things first, Metroid. Hey, remember that last Metroid game? Metroid soccer balls for your friends or whatever the hell that was called? Robot boys in space kicking a ball around?
We talk about the cone of disappointment on this show a lot. That was probably the biggest one of the last few years. New Metroid game, it's about soccer.
Were they trying to hurt? Were they trying to hurt Metroid? Were they like, was that like weird internal bullying in Nintendo marketing? That was like,
I could have done with just the chibi art style Samus version on 3DS. I could have done that enough, but the fact that it was about soccer.
Come on, like,
no,
come
Federation
on.
Force was like, I tried, man. I tried so hard to defend that game. I was like one of the only people being like, okay, let's give it a shot. Like, it could be cool. I actually really like Metroid Prime Hunters on DS. That was a wreck. This has been a franchise I've been connected to this franchise since I was very, very little. The original Metroid, I played the one on Game Boy, where you didn't know anywhere you were going. There was no map and everything was puke green. Super Metroid is phenomenal. Metroid Prime is incredible.
Yeah.
I love those games. I really, really, really do.
Of course, there's Other M, which kind of a lot of people weren't into. We kind of went.
It had some cool stuff in it,
yeah,
right?
I mean, but the last like solid Metroid game was Prime 3, and that came out. That came out almost a decade ago.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe just get on it, please.
We get all this crap, like Reggie comes out like to like a birthday party wearing a Metroid pin, and you know, like Shigeru Miyamoto he says the word Samus like 75 times in an interview under his breath secretly if you slow it down. Yeah. There's all this stuff. And I know what's happening. No, seriously, but Retro hasn't done anything in a while. Their last 2 games have been Donkey Kong related, which I love that funny orangutan monkey man with his clothes on, but we need a Metroid game. It's ridiculous. If Retro comes out at E3 and they're like, oh, Cranky Kong's Funeral 3, like, I'm gonna cry, man.
Well, I hope so. I love Cranky Kong. I don't want him to die. It's very upsetting. This is like a sad game.
No, I want a new Metroid game.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong's great. Port the old ones to Switch and just make a new Metroid game.
Give us a nice Metroid.
Please.
All right, moving on. Beyond Good and Evil is a game that came out. A lot of people loved it. And Ubisoft has been teasing a sequel since 2008.
That's insane.
And it's weird because they didn't do the thing where they're like, this is going to come out when it's done. They were like, oh, we're working on it.
Beyond Good and Evil came out in 2003?
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so it's been out there for a while, and we've seen like weird leaked trailers, and we've seen concept art, and Michel Ancel has gone off and started his own studio, but been like, I'm still working on that. So maybe we could just actually get it, or they could just say it's dead, or really one or the other, but I'd like to see more of that.
He's working on, what's it called? The, like...
Wild?
Yeah, Wild.
Yeah.
And then they're porting Rayman Legends to Switch. But other than that, like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I mean, the stuff we've seen, like the weird sort of like, I don't know if it was pre-rendered or just like concept footage, but the idea of like a hyper-realistic game where you're hanging out with a pig is like, that sounds kind of great. And honestly, like, Ubisoft either has like the very cartoony stuff like Rayman and Rabbids, or they've got the super hard, gritty Tom Clancy stuff. It'd be really cool to have something in the middle that looks awesome.
I love the photography element of like Jade's character walking around, taking pictures of weird, just nightmare animals, funny birds and such, and then getting her hovercraft and delivering photos to the Reggae Rasta barn to fix her car. It's a great game.
Yeah, what does that look like in 2017?
Yeah, what does it look like with real human skin and men and women
I'm tired of talking about human beings, and I think it's time we talked about Banjo Kazooie, another game that needs to make a comeback. The last one we got was Nuts and Bolts, which happened in 2008, but this year has been all about nostalgia. Like we got Ukulele and we got Snake Pass, and people were like going crazy over that. And I feel like there's a lot of people who really want to see a new Banjo Kazooie game.
For sure, and you know you got Rare, and they're wrapping up Sea of Thieves right now. We'll probably see the last bits of that at E3 this year. But after that, then what, right? Like they're not working on weird avatars for Microsoft anymore. They're not making any more Kinect games, thank God. So that frees them up. They've got the license, they've got the ability. I think they've got the talent and the skill, even in 2017 and beyond. Like honestly, like Yooka-Laylee was kind of a letdown. It was really not the 3D platformer we all wanted. And Mario Odyssey is not coming till the fall, so I'd like to see a little glimpse of something.
Even
like
if they just reinvent it entirely and do something weird with an incredibly realistic bear that's wearing a backpack, and maybe he doesn't even want it, he's the whole time he's just trying to get it off like a real animal probably would.
Like when
and
you
he
put a
tries
hat
to
on the
get,
dog.
yeah, he's trying to get in there to eat the bird that's just making noises. Anyway.
I think they're dating.
Yeah, probably. I think a lot of people agree there. Castlevania. That's a great game that everyone really loves. It's got there's that whole genre of Metroidvania. Amazing. The two games that inspire a huge genre that people adore are just kind of dead in the water as franchises. Yeah, it's really weird.
So crazy.
Obviously, there's Bloodstained, which is the Kickstarter crowdfunding game that's made by Koji Igarashi, who's the creator of Castlevania, and that looks like kind of a spiritual successor. But like, what is Konami doing with Castlevania aside from making a Netflix show, which looks pretty cool? But like, what if they made a cool tie-in for the Netflix show?
So we were talking about Japan earlier. When I was in Roppongi, I looked up and saw a massive building that said Konami on the side of it. And I had this weird fanboy urge to just go knock on the door and be like, hey, what's going on in there?
I like the idea of you trying to go into the Konami offices and they've got the giant drawbridge that comes down. It's all very quiet, and then bats start flying at you, and you got to like whip candles off the wall.
I think you got to sneak it in a box, man. The other franchise, they're kind of kicking around.
Yeah. In any case, I'm excited about the inevitable Castlevania pachinko machine that Konami will probably unveil.
Yeah. So we're getting Castlevania DLC in Bomberman, which is a weird sentence, but that's happening. So it at least shows that they're acknowledging that franchise exists in the year of 2017.
Yeah.
But that's just a start. We need more.
Now, of course, Mega Man. I believe we're getting a Legacy Collection 2. I think they just announced that. But, like, what about new Mega Man games? What about more Mega Man? Like, it's weird that we've got, like, oh, it's that young blue fellow from the Super Smash Brothers series who bears a striking resemblance to that mighty number 9. Where is he? Capcom, come on. Like, I feel like Capcom is like starting to turn things around, but like get that blue bomber out there.
So here's what's similar between that and the Yooka-Laylee thing, right? And we can look back on them now. Is that those were franchises that were long dormant. That the original co-creators said, I'm going to make a spin-off because I can't work under the label of my official home, and I'm going to make something brand new. Both of those games turned out to be not what we wanted from those games. So Mighty Number 9 was a letdown. Yooka-Laylee was a letdown. That means it's time for these companies to sort of take back what was theirs and go, okay, we're going to make a brand new Mega Man game. Now, I don't think you do that with Inafune. I just don't. I think with that, you give that to either Way Forward or Yacht Club. You give the Shovel Knight guys Mega Man and just nail it.
Be cool as
that
hell.
game was like 10% Mega Man already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make
it. Make it.
Come on, just give us a Mega Man game.
All right, hold on, wait. Capcom's trying to leave. Capcom, get back here. We're not done with you yet. All right, so Resident Evil 7, that was cool. You took that series that people were getting kind of so-so about. You kicked it right in the butt. You made it very scary. It was so scary I didn't even play it, but I think it was very good. I liked the look of it.
Resident Evil 7.
And then you had a bunch of VR, and they shook up the whole formula, and it was a totally new, exciting, fun thing.
There was those toilet boys that lived downstairs. Yeah. This messy, mossy man.
They're too scary, though.
Yeah, they are scary.
I would like a game like that, but with dinosaurs, such as Dino Crisis, so please bring back Dino Crisis.
I love the idea of the Resident Evil 7 engine being thrown directly at Dino Crisis, and you're just exploring a science lab with dinosaurs instead of an old house with crazy drug addict dudes that chop off their arms.
That would be awesome. Like, that'd be so cool. And like, also like, I don't know. I feel like Dino Crisis is just immediately you're like, what's this game about? Oh no, some sort of extinct animal emergency. I deal with this.
I really love that because it's just like Resident Evil. It tells you exactly what's happening in the title. You know, Resident Evil, you're like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's residents with some evil in it. Dino Crisis, oh, it's a problem with some dinosaurs. Thank you.
Yeah. So those are the franchises that we want more of. Maybe we'll get more of them at E3. We really hope so.
Thanks for watching our video about franchises we want more of at E3. Here's the time we decided we want more Star Wars guns being made by NERF. And after that, here's the history of every time Assassin's Creed has leaked. Spoilers, it's like every single time. More up at noon every Thursdays at noon on IGN.